Howdy, y'all. We got a battle report today, and it's going to be my Seraphon versus Axton Stormcast Eternal. Now, normally, what do you bring against me?
I bring Astral Templar with all my Ballistas and Fulminators.
Yeah, he likes to bring Astral Templars, which gets +1 to monsters, and normally 4 Ballistas. And so with the Lord Ordinator, he's getting those 4 Stormcast Ballistas at +2 against my monsters, and so he likes to run those against my Stegadons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this time I'm going to try to get a little revenge. I'm bringing kind of some nasty stuff here. I'm going Thunderlizard in this list, of course, and I've got my Saurus Guard on Carnosaur. He's my general with Prime Warbeast, Fusil, Conflaguration, which I also forget to use this game. Yeah, he may never been in range for that. I've got a Saurus Astrolith Bear and Lord Kroak. And of course, I'm going to take some Saurus Guard with Kroak. I've got 40 Saurus Warriors, 10 Saurus Knights, and then 3 Bastiladons. Yes. So, and a Balewind Vortex to go along with Kroak. So in this list, as you can probably tell, I'm going to try to farm command points and fire off those Bastiladons as much as possible. You can double fire those in Thunderlizard as long as you have enough command points. And so if I can generate enough command points, I'm gonna be trying to shoot those off as many times as I can, using my Saurus Warriors just to kind of clog things up, and then hit with the Saurus Knights and the Carnosaurs is the plan. A little bit different. I took this one in case he decided to bring his Ballistas. The Ballistas basically don't work against the Bastiladon because I'd only fail those saves on ones, so Ballistas don't work against them. But his list, he decided to switch it up a little bit on me. What do we have here for Stormcast?
I brought 3 Lord Arcanums, 1 on foot and 2 on Griff Charger.
Yep. And hold on, you're bringing it in Hammers of Sigmar. What does that do?
For any Redeemer unit on a 5-up for a command point, you can bring them back.
Yeah, so he can bring back the entire unit of Sequitors or Liberators if he rolls a 5-up and uses a command point when they're destroyed. So it's kind of a risky play, or it's not a risky play. It'll change a game if you get it, but you got to roll it on a 5. So sometimes that can be difficult. It's a 33% chance to get that. So we do have 3 Lord Arcanums. What are you kind of using those for?
To heal guys and bring Sequitors back.
Yeah, they can bring back a guy with 1 wound that's within 18, I think, of them, and so you can kind of triple tap that. If you've got them all in range, you can just keep healing stuff up. It doesn't work well if you overkill something by a lot, but it works pretty good on these Sequitors. They are all 3 wizards. Does that matter when you're going against Kroak?
No.
Yeah, they don't get too many spells off against Kroak. What about Celcent Prime?
He waits in the sky, and every turn he gets 2 extra attacks, and he hits on 3s and he wounds on 2s, does 3 rend, and does 3 damage.
Yeah, he can hit pretty hard. We've had some trouble with him against Coalesced, and because it reduces his damage by 1. He's not quite as effective, but he can still do a lot of damage. We've got those blocks of Sequitors, 15 and 10, and then we've got 5 Liberators felt the Battleline. And then these guys here, I have learned to not like very much. These Fulminators, what's special about those guys?
That they have a 2-up save and shooting and a 3-up normal save, and they can do mortals.
Yeah, they can do some mortals in the shooting. They have a 2-up rerolling 1s in shooting. Mm-hmm. So it makes it really hard to shoot those guys, especially when you only have -1 rend. Those guys, I've run up against that brick wall a couple times. You've brought them against my shooting. Not too bad in the shooting meta right now. You don't see the Dracoths all that often on the table, but he does like to use them against my Seraphon since I like to shoot a lot. So there we go. There's our lists. Now we're looking at the game type. We are playing Star Strike, and so beginning of turn 2, an objective will drop somewhere in the middle. Turn 3, it'll drop in our territories. So here's our deployment. We both had 8 drops, and you got the roll, so you knew you were going to get to dictate. And it looks like you're set up all the way at the board. Why'd you do that?
So your Ballistas couldn't shoot me.
My Ballistas?
I mean, Bastiladons couldn't shoot me.
Yeah, my Bastiladons. So, yeah, he set up to where my Bastiladons were out of range of all his important stuff, and then made me go first. So I've got my 3 Bastiladons here. I'm kind of setting up. I feel like I'm decently prepared to go either way on that Star Strike, wherever it goes in the middle. I feel like I've got enough bodies on the left side. I've got some monsters in the middle, and I've got all my Saurus Knights on the right-hand side. He's kind of over on this right side, but most of his stuff is up in the sky. He can put half of it up there. And so he's got the Fulminators and some Sequitors and Prime and the Hero up in the sky. So my turn 1. I just move up a little bit. Can't really do anything. Killed off, it looks like, 2 Sequitors with some spells. I think I had the one that I was able to hit him with, the one that does mortals to hordes, I believe, but only a couple mortals. And then the board-wide comet. I feel like that board-wide comet, every time I rolled for it in this game, I only rolled 1 unit the entire time. I don't know if you realize that, but I only rolled for 1 unit the entire time I was rolling those. So it made it a little bit difficult. A lot of times you get more mortals out from that, but not this game. I was keeping these guys kind of in a screen just because I didn't want my Carnosaur to get killed by Fulminators, and I kept screens here just so those Fulminators couldn't get in behind me and cause me problems there. But got Kroak up on the Balewind. Since I didn't fire anything else off, I gained a couple command points and just held on to them for firing later. I feel like Kroak didn't really generate me enough command points either this turn. I think it was only 1 extra command point for the first couple rounds.
Yeah.
Your turn, you just kind of shuffle up, getting ready for wherever that the Star Strike falls down. There wasn't really a whole lot to do in this game type turn 1 unless you can Alpha Strike. You could have brought stuff down, but you waited to see where the objectives were going to fall. So into turn 1, no points, just generating some command points. Turn 2. So now the you can see, I guess we didn't have the dice roll here. He did get turn 2, and the objective fell over here on that left side in the middle. And so he brought down a big unit of Sequitors there, and your hero, and the Fulminators. What was your plan with the Fulminators?
To charge them in and to shoot, to do the mortals to the Bastiladon, and to charge into the Saurus Warriors. Kill some of them.
Yeah, kill some of them. Keep them locked down, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I made a mistake here in that I probably should have kept that Bastiladon back 3 inches from the line, because these guys can drop down 9 inches out, and then they have a 12-inch mortal wound. Yeah. So he rolls 4 dice, and on 4-ups, I think, it does D3 mortals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you did pretty good. You did like 9 mortals. Yeah. To him on those, and I saved a couple of them from the Astrolith Bear here, who gives a Feel No Pain, a 6-up Feel No Pain, and I actually saved like 1 or 2 that time, so that was nice. But that hurts him because now he's bracketed, and unfortunately these guys have a 2-inch reach on their spears, and so if they get in combat here, they're going to be able to attack that Bastiladon. So mistake made. Let's line those guys up back further. So that is a 9-inch charge there. Oh, he gets him down some wounds there. And the Fulminators make it in. I think you were able to reach like 2 or 3 of them across into the Bastiladon. Mm-hmm. But what happened? You got some wounds through. Mm-hmm. I made like 1 save, and then I rolled a bunch of 6s for the Feel No Pains from that Astral Bear. And so what should have probably killed that Bastiladon left him on 3 wounds, didn't it? Mm-hmm. So he probably should have died there, but managed to stay alive. And I don't think they killed quite as many Saurus Warriors as we thought they would. Yeah. They killed off, it looks like they killed off a handful, and I did have to spend a command point to keep them from running, because I would have lost some from bravery. Because in Coalesce, you don't get any bravery bonuses, pluses or minus. So even though they're in a horde, they still have a bravery of 8. And so I think I was going to lose, whatever I rolled on the dice at that point. So that was the end of turn 2. He does score 2 points in this. For each objective you control, you score the number of battle round that you're in. So he scored 2 points for this one. And we're on to my turn. In my turn, I'm able to actually kill most of those Fulminators off. Do you remember what killed them?
The spells and
the spells from Kroak, wasn't it? Because I wasn't going to be able to shoot those things. There was no way I was going to be able to shoot those. In fact, I didn't even dedicate any shooting. It was all Kroak. I think Kroak killed off 3 of them and left 1 alive for the Warriors to deal with. The Bastiladon shot into that one, did no damage. These 2 Bastiladons shot over here, and you can see I cleared off a lot of those Sequitors. I hit pretty good on that one and cleared off quite a few of those. I think that unit only had 10, right? So I think I only killed 7 on that side. But that was activating 2 extra times with them. Yeah. This guy, he only shot into the Fulminator, and I didn't activate him again because he just wasn't going to do any damage to the Fulminator. But the Warriors, I had enough Warriors around there to attack. And they're not bad. The Warriors aren't. They can do... It's just weight of dice on those guys. They're not very good attacks, but when you have them over 15 in Coalesced, you're going to get 4 attacks from each warrior. So it's not bad. You can get some damage out, and I think I got just enough to kill them off. Unfortunately, I didn't get the objective. I couldn't get any guys on there, even with an advantageous pile-in from this side. I couldn't quite get there. Couldn't clear those guys off. You spent a command point to save those Sequitors. And so, no points for me, turn 2. And now turn 3, where are the objectives going to fall? Oh my goodness. They all fall on this left side. So right here, and right here is where all the objectives fall. All 3 on that left side, which I don't think either one of us were too happy about. I have enough guys over here so I can hold mine. He definitely he has this big old block here in the middle, so I think he wanted one either over there or on that other side. And now that means that my Knights and Carnosaur are pretty much out of this battle. They're over on the far right-hand side waiting for an objective over there, and they're just not going to make it over here in time. So they're kind of out of it at this point.
It's like when you have like a unit of guys way over on the other side, and the objective falls way over there, and like they're never in the game.
Yeah. It just takes them too long to get over there.
Mm-hmm.
So you win the roll-off on this one, and so you take the turn because I think it was because you wanted to just hold on to this one, right? So if he gave me the turn, I would just march these guys right onto it. So he backed these guys up, and you ran those guys over there, but what you rolled like really low on the run, didn't you?
I think it was like 2.
Yeah, and so you couldn't spend a command point on it because what were you saving your command points for?
To save my guys.
Yeah, to bring the Sequitors back. But you did bring down the big boy.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd you bring down?
Prime.
Yeah, and what was his purpose here in this game?
To just send mortals out with his comet.
You gotta say it louder.
To send mortals out with his comet.
Yeah, because that Bastiladon that had been left alive had 3 wounds left on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you lined up how far away?
Enough where he couldn't reach.
Yeah, just 20. You were 24 inches away here, so that these guys couldn't reach you, but you could still reach that Bastiladon with the mortals.
I had to use my automatic 6 to kill that guy. Wait, no, did I? Or did I not?
I don't remember. I think you rolled a 5. So he does a mortal, and you roll for a certain area of effect, and then it does D3 mortals. So you needed to do 3 mortals to him, and then get no feel no pains. And so it didn't, and he died. The Bastiladon died. So he got it just right, just perfect. Prime is down over on this left-hand side. So he served his purpose. You weren't going to bring him down if you got any spells onto him, because you have a couple spells that can do mortals, but I don't think you cast a single spell all game.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, Kroak shut him down pretty much all game, which, Kroak's +2 on in the way to unbind here, so not bad.
It's like when you verse Seraphon and you have no pluses to cast, like never going to get any spells off.
Yeah, Stormcast needs some pluses to cast, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the end of turn 2. There wasn't, or turn 3. There wasn't any combat. You did move these guys up. What was your plan with these guys?
To hold off the Saurus Knights to make sure that to tie them up to make sure they can't get all the way around.
Yeah, you were kind of blocking them because my closest path would be going around this way, and you were just going to try to block them there. You hit that. So in your turn, you own 2 objectives, and it's turn 3, so you got 6 points on that one. On my turn, I'm able to clear off the Sequitors that were here, and the hero that was right there. I'm able to clear them off, move the Saurus Warriors up, and then I just started shooting these Sequitors. I had to use quite a few shots over here into these guys, and then Kroak's Mortals as well. Kroak's Mortals were pretty awesome. I'm out of range of him. Even I did the whole dispel the Balewind, get off of it, recast it again so I could move, but I was still just out of range of Prime, how it got set up. So I couldn't do any mortals to him, but I did plenty of damage to these guys and cleared off that objective so that I could take it. I charged my warriors in, and I made a long charge here. Do you remember why I did that?
To make sure my Sequitors, to tie me up and make sure my Sequitors can't get all the way back to the objective and destroy you.
Yeah. I was just trying to tag them up. So I just, it was like 1 or 2 knights were the only ones attacking. Didn't do hardly any damage, I don't think. Maybe like killed one guy. He killed one guy in return. But that was just to force these guys to have to retreat to get on the objective, and so that they couldn't charge all these Saurus Warriors and kill them off. So that's the end of turn 3. I scored those 2 objectives on my side for 6 points. And now we're going to roll off. Turn 4. Oh, did you get on those Sequitors that I cleared off this objective, did you roll that 5?
No.
If you had rolled that one, that would have been pretty awesome, because you would have been able to bring them back probably here and then had 2 turns to send them in.
Yeah.
Turn 4 and 5. But didn't get those guys back. 10 Sequitors, failed on that one. So now we're going into turn 4, and you win the roll-off again. Did you win every roll-off? All except the last one. Yeah. Okay. So in this one, what was your plan here?
I retreated them. I retreated my Sequitors. Oh, I wanted to charge the Sequitors into the Knights. Yes.
These guys over here. Yeah, the Liberators. He was going to send the Liberators here to just try to do the same thing I did to him, just tie those Knights up and stay out of range of the Carnosaur. These guys retreated, and you needed to roll. It was like if you rolled a 6 maybe on the retreat run, you could have taken the objective, but I think you rolled a 1. And you only had 1 command point. So you couldn't spend it because you needed it in case those Sequitors got killed to bring them back. What about Prime? What's he doing?
He's going to charge them.
Yeah, he was going to charge over here and get the Warriors, right? I still had quite a few Warriors here. I think it was like 25 Warriors or something were still alive. So he's probably not going to do that much damage. But he could do a lot to them and maybe even take that objective depending on how I pulled. So it was a good move. Clear the bodies as much as possible. Unfortunately, Prime goes in, and what happens?
He misses.
He whiffs. He's already doing -1 damage from Coalesce, but he failed a couple on the hit. We changed one of those to a 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think he rolled another 1 on the to wound, and ended up only killing 6 warriors in combat, which was that was sad. So only 3 attacks got through, and -1 to the damage. So they're only doing 2 each. So he killed 6 warriors. 1 I think was killed in the comet, and then I did 3 damage back to you with the warriors, which I was surprised. So I think his saves weren't all that good, but he only has a 3-up save, and they do have some rend on those clubs, so they're not too shabby. And with that, I was able to pile in a little bit just to make sure that I got the objective, but he only had 5 guys on it, so I wasn't too worried about it. So I was happy with that exchange. Only losing 7 warriors to Prime was probably less than what I should have lost. So he does score his own objective, which was worth 4. And now we're going into my turn. I'm able to clear off Prime again, just with Kroak, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like whenever you bring Prime down and you try to attack him, whatever he attacks, he'll kill, but then he'll just get killed back.
Yeah, he's kind of weak, isn't he? He can hit really hard normally, but he gets destroyed pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He only has 8 wounds and no mortal wound protection. So, so in my turn, I clear off the Sequitors with a bunch of shooting. But what happens?
I bring him back home.
Yeah, he rolls the 5 up he needed with his last command point and brings them all up here onto his objective. So I'm not taking that objective from him. And easy striking distance, only 9 inches. You can move 5 or 6 with Sequitors. Are they 6? 5. And so if he gets the turn, he's just going to surround these warriors and obliterate them with these Sequitors. He'll probably spend his command point on this turn to reroll hits and saves from this hero here. So it's not going to be good. Going into turn 5, it was basically whoever wins the roll off is going to win. Because if I win it, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to shoot a bunch of his stuff off the board. I'm probably just going to pour into those Sequitors again, shoot them as much as possible, and I'll score 10 points. And then even if you scored both those objectives on your turn, then I think I would still be ahead at that point, right? So we figured if he won, he would clear these guys out. He would score 10 points. And then I wouldn't be able to take that middle one back, and he would win. So the roll-off, anytime you get a game that goes down to the roll-off at the last it's a good game. So roll-off happens. Oh, here's a scoreboard. We've got 14-12 at this point. So if I can get up some extra points on him, I'll win this one. Roll-off. I rolled a 6. He rolled a 5. I finally got a priority in this game, and so. I finally get revenge for all the times my Stegadons have been killed by his Ballistas. So we didn't play it out there. I would have just sat still and shot up his Sequitors again. Kroak bombed him, probably cleared off most of what was over here and won the game. So good game overall. I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
What would you have done differently? Do you know anything that you would have done differently?
Maybe try to, instead of putting them on separately, maybe put them all in the middle to go different both ways where the objective is.
Okay. Since your liberators over on the far side were basically out of it. Okay. Yeah, maybe so.
To try to do more damage with Prime.
Yeah. I think if you could have kept the fulminators from getting in range of Kroak, I would have basically not been able to deal with them. But since all the objectives fell on the side that had Kroak covering it, you basically couldn't. And so the fulminators were kind of stuck there. So,
and your Carnosaur was your general, and you didn't do anything.
Yeah, he never got in combat. You can see him here. He decided to climb this building to get an outlook over the whole. That was his shortest path to relevance, was getting on top of that building. But yeah, my Carnosaur was basically out of the fight. The Warriors were basically out of the fight.
My Liberators.
Your Liberators and your hero over here were out of the fight.
He was trying. I just sent him to go over to the objective, which you never get there.
Yeah. What about Prime? Prime didn't quite do what he should have done. But that's kind of the story with him versus Coalesce, making him -1 to hit. How would you change Prime?
I would change him to have more wounds, maybe?
More wounds? Maybe a mortal save? More attacks? Reroll everything? He should be awesome, right? All right. Well, good game. We had thanks for playing against Kroak and 3 Bastiladons. I like this list. It's pretty fun. It's got enough bodies. It's got enough shooting. Bastiladons kind of really shine when you can double fire them. I don't think I'd ever take them in anything other than Thunderquake. They just don't do enough damage without being able to double tap them. So, Kroak, as always, was awesome. I would not have been able to deal with those fulminators if I didn't have Kroak there to mortal wound bomb them. So, Kroak, hey, he's made it through 2 FAQs. He's pointed correctly. All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time.